France get to the fourth final in their history, which is a scary statistic for Argentina because they've won the last 2 out of 3, right? I really feel for Morocco because, again, like Croatia, things didn't go your way. And when you're the worst team on paper, you need some luck to fall for you. Put some respect on Deschamps' name, though, because I feel like it was a bit of a tactical masterclass, especially in how he set up his team. But first, let's take a quick look at how both teams set up. So France were in the 4-2-3-1 that they've played throughout this tournament, so no surprise there. Deschamps made some two important changes. He took out Upamecano and played Konate instead, and Rabiot was ill, so he played Fofana instead of him. In the build-up to this game, I talked about how Upamecano looked like a bit of a liability versus England and things like that, and I actually wanted him to start Konate, so nice to see that he did it. And Fofana, his inclusion instead of like Camavinga or Jordan Veretout or Guendouzi was also smart from Deschamps because he's probably the best defensively out of those options, right? And like I said, some of the French midfield and defense has some issues with concentration, right? Chouameni gave away a penalty versus England. Hernandez gave away a penalty versus England. And Upamecano looked sort of shaky, right, against Kane. So I'm glad he made these two changes, and they made a big difference on the team. For Morocco, they started off as a 5-4-1, but because Saiss went off in the 21st minute, he brought on Amala instead of him and then kind of played in a 4-3-3 that they've been playing throughout the tournament, right? So that's how both teams set up. Let's talk about French setup and what Deschamps got right? Coming into this game, he knew that Morocco had the second lowest average possession in the World Cup. Only 32% in 5 games. That is 31st out of 32 teams. And only Costa Rica at 30% had lower. And Deschamps wanted more defensive shape, physicality, and concentration so that they could play better out of possession, right? And he actively decided to give Morocco the ball and have all his players playing really deep, right? So Hernandez, Fofana, and Konate holding down the left side, Varane, Chouameni, and Koundé holding down the right side, Dembele holding deeper than usual, and Griezmann as well holding kind of deep, with Mbappe allowed license to play a bit further forward, and obviously Giroud playing in the center forward position. And they were set up to counterattack. And if you watch France throughout this tournament, they've been really good on the counterattack, right? Because their forward players have great skill and concentration and finishing to take their chances when they get them, especially Giroud and Mbappe. So great strategy from Deschamps, and it actually paid off, right? In the first half, they had only 40% possession. The left side where he made the two changes, Konate and Fofana coming in, absolutely locked down Morocco's right? We had Ziyech over here trying to make some play 1-2s with Hakimi, Unahi, and obviously En-Nesyri, who was their center forward. And these three guys were kept totally quiet. They had only 0.16 XG in the first half. Theo, Fofana, and Konate had 6 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 11 ball recoveries in the first half alone. And they won 13 out of 18 of their ground and aerial duels. So absolutely rock solid at the back. In the second half, he took off Giroud for Thuram in the 65th minute, I believe, and Dembele for Kolo Muani in the 78th minute. And what happened after he made this change was, instead of being straight swap for Giroud, he moved Thuram onto the left wing and played Mbappe at striker, and Kolo Muani played instead of Dembele, so a straight swap there. He had even less possession than the first half, right? They finished with 39% for the whole game, with 61% for Morocco. And it was the same tactic, just hold really deep and really compact. So out of possession, the wingers would drop sort of narrow. The fullbacks would hold narrow as well, so that Ziyech, Hakimi, and Unahi on the Moroccan right side would be forced to create from out wide, right? Forced to put in crosses, forced to play through a compact France team, which is really difficult with the personnel that they have, right? They don't have an Mbappe. They don't have a Dembele to be able to get a lot out of small spaces on the pitch, right? So it was a really good strategy overall from Deschamps, and he deserves massive credit. Even when they were beaten on the wings, right? Even when Ziyech got through it in the back, even when Hakimi got to the byline, or Unahi made something nice happen around this area, they had Konate, Varane, and Koundé to defend the ball, even if the cross got across, right? So it was absolutely a great overall tactic from them. Theo Hernandez was the man of the match easily. He had 1 goal, 4 progressive passes. Defensively, though, absolutely massive. 4 out of 4 tackles won, 7 out of 8 ground and aerial duels won, and 10 ball recoveries. Fofana as well, incredible defensively, 3 tackles and 2 interceptions, 5 ball recoveries, and 6 ground and aerial duels won. And even their sort of 2 of their front players and Tchouaméni, right? So these 3 players here, in Griezmann, Tchouaméni, and Dembele when he was playing, they had 4 tackles between them, 5 clearances between them, 7 interceptions between them, and 16 ground and aerial duels won. So they were willing to play defensively and hold their shape and provide support for the 6 at the back, and they played to Deschamps' instructions really well. So hats off to them. Now let's talk about the Moroccan setup. Let's just put him back in the shape really quickly. We have Ziyech on the right here, Hakimi right back, and Nasiri in front here. Regragui deserves a lot of credit again, even though they were forced to play in a style that they are not used to, right? They are used to 32% of the ball, but they were forced into 61% possession, so almost double than normal. But they actually look decent, man. Like, is there anything this Moroccan team can't do? Like, maybe finishing is one thing, or maybe creating lots of chances, but in terms of progressing the ball from back to front, they were absolutely immense. I mean, the midfield deserves credit. The defense and fullbacks deserve a lot of credit. Ziyech and Boufal tried to do as much as possible within their skill set, right? But they just didn't have that quality that someone like Brazil has, or someone like an Argentina has, to create a lot of stuff in the final third, and that's where they struggled, right? Unahi was great again at progressing the ball. He had 4 shots, 95 touches, 3 out of 3 dribbles completed, 10 progressive passes, and he forced a really nice save from a shot from outside the box from Lloris, right? So great for him, and I'm sure he has great things in his future. The Moroccan sort of right side was kept relatively quiet as much as they tried to make things happen in Ziyech and Hakimi specifically. 0 dribbles, 0 crosses, 0 chances created, and only 7 progressive passes from Ziyech. 0 dribbles, 0 crosses, and 0 chances created, and only 4 progressive passes from Hakimi. So as much as they tried to make things happen, it just didn't work. And En-Nesyri definitely had the quietest striker performance in the entire tournament. Only 3 touches of the ball in 60 or so minutes, and only 3 passes completed. So I feel for the guy, but what can you do when you're playing against such a crowded France defense, right? Crowded and compact. Like there was no space at all for him to exploit. So I feel bad for the guy. Now, talking about the goals that France got as well, I mean, both of them came from deflected shots from Mbappe, right? El Yamik makes an error. Griezmann gets behind him. He passes the ball to Mbappe. There's about, I don't know, in this area over here, there were probably 6 or 7 Moroccan defenders that tried to crowd out Mbappe. He finally turns onto his left foot, tries to shoot it, and the ball goes from Mbappe's feet here, deflects into this area, and Theo Hernandez is there to volley it into the net, right? So really unfortunate for the first goal. Second goal as well, Thuram and Mbappe have the ball sort of at the edge of the box on the left side, right? Mbappe's over here, and the ball goes from Mbappe to Thuram back to Mbappe. Mbappe's at the edge, sort of edge of the box, dances through, shoots, the ball goes off, I believe it was Atiat Allah, I could be wrong there, and deflects into this area here, and Kolo Muani is free to just get a tap in into the goal, right? So super unlucky. I feel for Morocco and their fans. They showed incredible heart in this tournament, and it's sad to see them go out in this fashion. You know, who knows, maybe if Morocco was able to keep it at 0-0 by the 70th or 80th minute, France would have really struggled to create stuff, right? And that would have been an more interesting game. But this was kind of sad to see the game over by the 78th minute, right? So I feel for them. Closing thoughts, Morocco is definitely hands down the greatest African team because they're the first ones to make it to the semifinals. Unfortunate that they couldn't get to the final, but, these things happen. But congratulations to them for their performance in this tournament. France and Deschamps deserve massive credit for their tactics today. I was pleasantly surprised that they could actually play without the ball and do so well, right, against a Moroccan team, and actually give up the ball and with 39% possession go on and score 2 goals and win the game. So credit to Deschamps, credit to France. Let's see what happens in the finals. It'll be a very interesting game. Can Messi win it, or can Deschamps get his back-to-back title, right? Let's see. Like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.